welcome and thank you for joining us. This is the Bourgeoisie Show. My name is Ehi Renan. I am the host. Today we're going to talk about challenging the African mentality. It's a topic that I'm very passionate about because I feel like a lot of African parents sometimes influence the way their children think, and that goes a long way to determining the children's destiny. So today we have a few friends of mine. We have Jude, Chibi, and Rotimi here with me to help me on the subject. Let us start with you, Timmy. What do you think of the typical African mentality of our parents? So say, for example, every parent wants their son or their daughter to be a medical doctor or a lawyer or an engineer. As an artist, can you just go up to your parents and say, Mom, that's what I want to do. I'm not going to go to school for biochem or whatever.
That's an interesting question. In my particular situation, my dad actually approached me and said, you seem to be getting pretty deep into your music career. It seems like you're going to have to make a choice, which path that you choose to take. So, I mean, in my situation, I'm fortunate to have a father and a mother that I would say were worldly enough to understand that people can still make a living out of something that they're passionate about. That being said, I would say most African parents simply, I think maybe because of our history, want the best for their children. However, they don't know the evolution of careers or what different particular paths might lead their children to better careers in the future. So they just need to get educated.
Right. So Jude, what was occurring to you while he was speaking? He said most African parents want the best for their children, but isn't the best almost, following your dreams? And if that means being a producer, why not follow your dreams if that's the best, if they want the best for their children?
Well, I think in your reality, based on the past, the art in itself it never paid the bills. So when you say evolve, they really evolved at that point in time in a comparative sense. They had kids who were doctors and the ones who were working in television houses, and they found out that the ones in television houses could never
weren't paying the bills.
Yeah, so it just informed that bias towards those kind of careers. But I think let me go back from football before the arts. Football. My brother used to just true scenario here. He used to play great soccer, and I remember he was playing for the under-16, and my father just flew in from England. He was actually in England, and he heard my brother was on camp. And he flew back in and went to camp and pulled him out. And my brother was in the same camp with Canon Wako. I think it was under 21. And I remember before my dad passed away, and we were watching TV once, and we were talking about Canon, how much was being paid in Arsenal. And my dad was like, wow.
I shouldn't have done that.
You know what I mean? So I presume that now if some of my niece or my nephew, somehow they learn to know how to kick the leather ball, definitely the gifts when you go for the balls, I'll be giving them as birthday. So I think they're evolving, they're understanding that at the end of the day, as long as this thing can, as you rightly said, can put food on the table, then you encourage your child. Because trust me, nobody, because as we think in Nigeria, your parents, when they invest in you in the olden days, it's like, also when I grow old, you can take care of me.
Right.
So that's what it's all about, the money.
Right. Chibi, what do you think they have to prove that a career is lucrative for them to encourage you to pursue your dreams?
Not necessarily. I don't really think you need to prove anything to them aside from you're happy with it and that's really what you want to do. So I just think that it comes to a point in life where parents should understand that they don't have custody of their kids anymore, but all they owe them is really support. So if you want to do this, you want to do that as long as you're happy and hopefully it pays the bills, then yeah. If not, then seriously, you've lived your life. Seriously.
And if it doesn't pay the bills, is it okay for them to nag about it?
Fine, nag, but I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's your own. They begin to make it their career to put you in a career. You know what I mean? It doesn't really balance out like that. I think they should really allow people, kids especially, their kids to go ahead. Find what you want to do. I changed my major twice until I figured what it was that I really wanted to do.
And how are your parents taking it?
I didn't sit down and talk to them about it.
You just did it?
Yeah, I just did it. And I have been asked, back, why are you still broke if you really want to do, if this is really what you want to do? Oh, come here and work here. I have these friends who can put you here. You know how much these people are earning doing this, that. And then I said, oh, you know how much Avatar made? And they're like, oh, really? Oh, okay, great. Okay, fine. Go ahead, do what you want to do. So yeah, Jude says, his dad says, okay, this guy's earning this amount of money. Okay, wow, I wish. you know? But is it really just money? Let's look at it that way. Is it really just money, or what this person is really passionate about and all that kind of stuff? So for me, I had to rub in the money part too, of course, too. But I never sat down and said, I want to do this. I just said, I just kept doing it, and they started asking questions. What is this thing you're doing? And I talked about it, and that was it. And nobody really said, oh, don't do it. This is wrong, or whatever. But all he would say something like, oh, I saw it in the newspaper today. I'm like, oh, okay, great. And he just laughed about it or whatever. But we never like sat down and talked. But I know if we did, it would probably have been a no-no because they're typical too. So yeah.
So how many, on a ratio of 1 to 10, how many African parents would you say that are not typical like your parents? And would you be that parent? Would you be the kind of parents that your parents were to your children?
That's a good question, man. I think everything depends on the level of awareness that exists. So you'll find, as you know, in Nigeria, you're either in the upper class or in the lower class, if you may. And I think the higher you go up in society, you'll find that the parents are more liberal because they allow their kids to go on summer vacation to the United States or to Europe or wherever, right? And the minute you allow your child to become more aware of the opportunities out there, there's little you can do, as she said, to restrain them from pursuing those opportunities. On the flip side, however, I will say that we do obviously owe our parents a little bit of respect in the sense that, like, I know my parents put me through private school in Nigeria, and that's not easy to do. Right? That's really expensive. Brought us out here, you know, like they've given us so much opportunity. So at the very least I can do is kind of check my values and check whether money. Right? Does money motivate me as much as they want it to motivate me?
Jude, sorry to cut you off, but what you have to say to what you just said? Are you leaving your parents? Is he living his parents' dreams because he wants to sort of pay them back, so to speak? Like, do you find that a lot of people in our generation are just doing certain things because, well, our parents paid international fees, they took us to private schools, and it's time to pay them back? It's like a PD.
Yeah, well, some parents actually remind you every day what I'm doing for you. You know what I mean? So even if you don't want to pay them back, they let you remember. But I still look at it as a parent. If your father is wealthy, he had no option. I feel with his wealth, he should put you in a private school because he has to protect you, number one. You know what I mean? So I don't think there should be a payback mentality because you didn't beg to be born. You were born, and he has to be responsible for that. You know, that fact that he brought you into the world. And just imagine your dad was so rich, and then in Nigeria they call it Jack on their school. You just don't pan out.
But I mean, at the same time, though, right? Yeah, like, I guess the point I was trying to make was that you have to figure out whether your interests align with your parents.
I totally.
So if you do have the same motivation, then fine, everything will work out smoothly. But if there's a bit of friction, then you need to, like a banker would go to a bank and convince them to lend them money. You need to convince them why I should believe that this career path is the best.
You're very right in saying that, because lots of us we do things that because it's fad. So I think our parents owe it, or we owe it to our parents, and our parents owe it. It's a vice versa kind of thing. For our parents to be sure that we really want to do what we want to do. I don't want to be an actor because Chibi is an actor. Because to be frank, as someone who's chasing the arts, it's a hard life. It's a really hard life. And like me, if I'm going to have a child tomorrow and say, oh, do you want to be an actor? I have to let my child understand what it's going in for. You know what I mean? Because don't go and put 15 years into it and then come back and cry and say, oh, you should have told me, you should have. No, you really dedicated to it. It's really a calling, because in the arts, there's actually a calling.
Right.
It pulls you out.
It comes from within.
You know what I mean? Like you call yourself a stockbroker. You know, you'll be broking your stocks. You still have that thing that pulls you out to come out. So yeah,
right, so you sort of have to negotiate with them and meet them halfway if there is no fiction. That's what you're saying, right?
You just have to.
It's kind of like you're negotiating with them.
I heard someone else talking about sales skills early on. You have to be able to sell an idea, and especially if your parents are not educated properly on the future or the careers of the future, you have to sell them the idea. It's as simple as that.
Okay, with the last 2 minutes, I just want to talk a little bit about intertribal marriages. Would you, as an Igbo girl, would you ever date or consider getting married to a Hausa person, for example?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And likewise, two of you?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not in our generation, but you do know that our parents, for example, as your Yoruba, they would insist on you, they would prefer if you did get married to your brothers?
I mean, they think it makes things easier, yeah. But even within your tribe, there's still a lot of friction. So once again, it depends on the level of education, I think. Everything circles back to that.
But you were surprised how educated people would react to some certain things.
When I say educated, I mean level of awareness,
exposure,
international orientation is what I would say. So even if you're educated, as you're saying, you still need to have that international orientation, I think.
But I think it has to do with fear. Some people have actually gone through episodes that really scarred them.
Right.
You know what I mean? If your aunt was married to somebody, I remember a colleague of mine or a friend of mine, the dad died and they told his mom they washed his body and told the mom to drink it.
Oh no, hell no.
So obviously that boy, if tomorrow someone in the neighborhood hears you want to marry from that tribe, they're going to say, hey, hold on, if that person dies, you're going to drink some cadaver water. You know what I mean? So so it is all encompassing, you know.
Okay.
But I will marry you.
Sure, I'll take it. Thank you guys. It was a pleasure having you on the show. As you have heard, it's maybe not the African mentality is not prevalent with every parent. I don't know what kind of parents you have, but hopefully you can negotiate with them and meet them halfway. Thank you for watching the Bourgeoisie show. Thank you guys for coming, and I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
And have a good one. Joe, can you tell us your full name and what your role is on the show?
My name is Joe Lonzi, and I am the producer of the show. My job's pretty much organizing everything from the beginning and making sure that we have all our equipment here and everything, and we're good to go, and pretty much co-producing with you and B and making sure everything's going smoothly and you guys are happy with everything. Are you happy?
I'm happy.
Okay, good.
So tell me, how do you choose your guests for each show?
Pretty much every topic is inspired by a previous experience. So say, for example, men and dogs. I was inspired by that topic when I was having a conversation with my friends. So a lot of my topics are inspired by past experiences of myself directly or of my friends. And when I get the topics, I pretty much go and look for people I know have expert knowledge on these topics, and some of them are my friends, some of them are experts, and I bring them on the show. Hi, tell us your role on the show and what your name is.
Hi, my name is Aquila Kids, and I'm the program coordinator for the Bourgeoisie show.
What do you enjoy most about working on the show?
Well, I love the people, and I love the fact that, you know, it's very creative, and we're, you know, putting together a great show.
Hello, tell us your full name and what your role is on the show.
My name is Biala Jala, and I guess I'm the executive director. Yeah.
Executive producer.
Producer, thank you. I'm executive producer.
My name is Peter Hatch, and I am one of the camera operators and one of the editors on this project.
And what have you experienced being on the set?
It's been a lot of fun. First time kind of doing like a talk show like this, so it's a good experience.
Over here we got our keynotes on now. Got our shooting schedule up here. My name is Andrew Lang, and I'm the co-producer of this project.
I'm Amelie, and I'm the makeup artist as well as I help with wardrobe.
How do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, I see myself going places. I'm going very, very, very far. I know it. So I want to be, I want to be a big talk show host in Africa and all over, actually, not just Africa. And I believe I have a message to carry, so I know. Good.
Hi, I'm Landon. I'm one of the directors here on the Bourgeoisie show. And yeah, I'm really glad with what we've done actually. We've actually done a lot in a relatively small amount of time. I mean, it's been a lot of hard work, but everyone's really proud of it, and I know everyone can be really proud of the entire project. Stay tuned.
I have always wanted to do this for the longest time. I always wanted to discuss with people, always found myself interviewing people, and even when I'm having conversations with people, it always leads to like a heated argument. I just always wanted to talk. I love the light.